Just similar to just. Hold that thought.
The pre-show is so much more talkative. It's for you.
Always.
I feel like I'm watching it in slow mo, but listening to it in slow mo.
We need to get Nathan back on here.
Yeah, we do.
We don't need that.
We're down to one Canadian.
Is that not enough?
Oh, you're enough.
He's a Canadian. Hello. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks. It is a messy Monday. Very messy Monday. It's a very muggy, messy Monday here in the South. Welcome, everybody. Already got some folks watching. Check it out. Wax Splat is here. Battery Powered Bricks is here. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great evening. We were just talking about, only having one Canadian with us right now. It's okay because it's a very fine Canadian. One of the best Canadians I know. So.
You only know like one or two of us, though, right? So
Actually, we know a couple handfuls of Canadians, ironically.
I think I know more Canadians than I do Americans outside the state of Georgia Lego fans. I'm pretty sure. So maybe. Oh.
That's an interesting concept.
So speaking of expatriate fans, I logged on to my Bricklink store and I had an order for, well, I guess I won't reveal since everybody knows this person, but a certain Mr. Snaps from Alabama placed an order, and in his request he's like, are there any special discounts available for British people living in Alabama? And so I sent him the invoice and I said, yes, it comes with the free packet of Twinings tea that will be included with your order.
Just right back. If I knew what the heck a crumpet was, I'd send you one.
You get a free English corgi with every order.
But he likes big floofy dogs. So.
Oh yeah.
He is a big floofy dog kind of guy. So, all right. Anyway, you guys having a good day? Matt, I know we're not revealing it tonight, but you have a big project off your shoulders. We'll reveal that Thursday, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's standing up. It needs some stability. It's a little bendy, but I leaned it against.
You need to throw in those zip ties because you've got some splitteds going on.
Yeah, I do. So I'll probably. Yeah, I might try to do some zip tying before the show, and I'll actually try to do the Technic pins and snap the whole thing together. Right now, it's just in 8 sections that are standing up. But yeah, it feels really good to have that done. It's kind of funny. I got like that done and grades done on the same day of last week. So I've been whittling down the to-do list on my phone very rapidly. So it felt good. So I'm getting to some stuff, and I actually, like, after the mosaic was finished, I actually felt almost like, I don't say sad, but I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, it's so dominated my like free time, Lego time. Like it was the thing, and now it's kind of like I could go in any direction. Like I'm the queen on the chessboard, but which direction do I want to move in, right? And so I got out a box set. I'll just do this is my around there. So I built this. I got out the Death Trooper helmet.
Oh, cool.
From the helmet set, because one of the things I started doing this weekend is rearranging my Lego office, and I decided I'm going to put all of the helmets in a row on the bookshelf. So I haven't built any of the 3 recent ones. I did buy the Commander Cody on the May the 4th, but the 2 more recent helmets I haven't built yet, and they're going to be spots on the office bookcase. So I built that set, and then as I was cleaning out the office, Thomas and I had got the advent calendars, and he was not nearly as consistent about building his. So there was like half of the Guardians advent calendar that had never been built because he just kind of got bored or lost interest. And I had the Star Wars one, and I did all of the Star Wars ones. So I'm actually working on finishing the advent calendar builds right now for this particular set. So we're catching up on our Christmas leftovers.
Yeah, we built that one, and like the daily set sometimes were kind of goofy. You're like, what the heck is this? And then you had to piece them all together over a couple days. So,
and then I'm also doing a little bit of sorting. So I was doing some sorting earlier today. One of the things that I did was when the BTS set came out, I don't know, I can't remember now which Lego store employee I was talking with, but and it had been out for like 2-3 weeks, and they were like, I'll bet you could flip those figs. And I looked at that and I'm like, it's $100 set and it's got 7 figs. Yeah, if I got, this amount of money, I'd basically break even. It worked. I sold all 7 figs for the price of the set, so I got all the other parts of the set for free. So I'm parting those out. And for the most part, there's nothing like extraordinary, but there are some of these nice palm leaves in the new lime green color. And you also got some cool shiny metallic silvery parts. So I was like that. So.
Cool. Yeah, the noise over the BTS set, it just kind of, I mean, I haven't heard much noise about that after the set came out.
Well, I was like, what is BTS behind the scenes? What?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean,
K-pop is not my scene, so.
No, it is not. But I mean, I just haven't heard a lot of hype after the set came out. It's like
the people were paying a lot of money for the figs on eBay. I mean, if I had sold those figs the very first week it came out, I probably could have doubled my money. It was kind of crazy to me what people were paying, and I was like, "Holy cow! Someone paid $23 for one minifig? You got to be kidding me!" Now the prices have come down, but.
Well, that's cool. All right, so let's see what Mr. Van Winden is up to real quick. Hello, sir. After you were adjusting your camera and
well, yeah, I figured I'd angle it towards the castle somewhat. Hold on, let me just spin this around like a rocket. No, rocks. I forget how that song goes, but yeah, basically just finished a good portion of the harbor here.
Cool.
Got all the water filled in finally. I'm about ready to start the next piece, which will be a bit of harbor and then some like a market, I think. So this brings me up to 4 feet. I have another 4 feet to do for the new part of the display. So basically working on that. I got a small bricks and pieces order in today, which I have no idea where I put it. No, not a bricks and pieces order, a bricklink order. Just for some parts like the $2 a piece hinge pieces for these doors now in light gray. The hinge bricks.
Oh my gosh.
I found someone in Canada that had 5 of them, so I ordered them. But yeah, they're becoming they're basically gold now. And just a few other parts that I actually didn't end up needing, but because I figured out other ways to build something. But yeah, I changed the way the tower looks. I've now got the rounded tower more like the castle, and then a lower area as well. So
yes, yeah. He's quoting the song for you, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. There it is. Right.
Thank you very much, Black.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I love it. Are you gonna put some boats in the harbor, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I have to figure out how to brick build some boats. I don't think I've ever really done that before, like especially something from like a medieval period. I'll probably like for the other half of the harbor where it's just, or the other half where it's just the small docks. I'll definitely use like the regular Lego boats that already exist,
right? Like
the pirate ship boats. But yeah, I'll have to build a couple of boats, or I think maybe either one coming in on the water and then one just docked here. I was also thinking I probably need a little crane or something like to lift things out of the boat. And
a Viking longboat.
Is that what that would have been period authentic at that time?
Yep, because they were sacking the English for sure.
This is true.
You should have them throwing sacks at them then.
There you go.
Well, either that or raping and pillaging, but whatever floats your boat.
So, but yeah, that's about it.
It always amuses me that the vicious Viking parts of the world ended up becoming the like parts of the world that hand out the Nobel Peace Prize today.
There's something to that. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Let's check in with Mr. Sandlin. Mr. Sandlin is quiet this evening. He must be building. And he's muted.
I am actually cutting a big piece of foam board for the top of one of my Lego bookshelves over there because I this weekend rearranged the Lego room. So I've got lots of stuff moved around. I've got I took an old desk that I had upstairs, my old computer desk, and put it down here. So I've got like the glass top desk there. That was my old computer desk, and I've put it with everything else, moved my bins around so that everything falls a little easier to reach. Moved Star Warsy things up here to this shelf. I've got my Marvel stuff over here, my City of Lanterns over here, and I was cutting the piece of foam board to put over where the Monkey Kid stuff is, because when I put that there, then I can take my Marvel stuff and move it up there and have the street in front of it. It's just a little bit too deep for the top of that bookshelf.
Oh.
So the little foam board piece I was going to put over there so the street can still be in front of my Marvel buildings. And yeah, just sort of, I haven't actually built any Lego this week, but I've done lots of rearranging and stuff in the Lego room to facilitate my Lego hobby. So,
it's making it more fancy to match that rich mahogany paneling that you have in the room. So,
yes, and the lovely drop ceiling that I have.
I'm beginning to think that we should do a tutorial on managing your Lego room and your Lego inventory. Like, that's like a whole nother thing that AFOLs don't know they're getting into, but they're getting into it.
Yeah, I think talking to Aubrey, she got a nice influx of used brick, and sorting through it, she's like panic mode a little bit. Not panic mode, but it's like, this is a pain in the butt. I'm like, yes, it is a pain in the butt. And unfortunately, if you've been in it for as long as I have, there is like buckets and buckets of bench scrape over in that room right over there that my wife said, you know what? You should host your friends over. That means the lug, and let them just buy some stuff out of there. And because do you know what's in there? I'm like, I probably do. But she said, would you do that? I'm like, maybe. But
she evidently had a really good time at Atlanta BrickCon, didn't she?
She did. She saw me sell Lego, and that made money, and dollar signs, the whole thing. So
I have in my office, I have not one bin, not two bins, but 3 bins of Lego that have been there for 2 to 4 years that have never been sorted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't do that. I gotta sort it because inevitably I need something and I know it's in there, and so I just gotta sort it, get it out of the way.
I need to invite Van Winden to come down a week early before Atlanta BrickCon next year and just be like, Jeff, here's how you can pay for your board. Just shove these giant tubs in there. Just let Van Winden like go to work. Like, I just imagine he's like this little machine going sort.
Yeah, you don't see his hands. It's just a Canadian face and a blur in the shape of a maple leaf as it moves, and
But now the question is, because the standing rule is you get to keep 10% of what you sort. Now, is that in a U.S. or Canadian percentage? So,
I've never had sorting Janie's bricks. I've never kept that rule. That being said, she housed me for 6 months when I was getting divorced. So we'll give that too. So
you earned your keep.
I still I hope to get up there in the next few weeks and do some more sorting. It's almost done. Of course, I get there and there's going to be another huge, 50-gallon bin of brick to sort. So
yeah, everybody's got their price. That's right. I mean, somebody comes in here and waves a lot of money under my nose, then things can leave. It's fine, So
Or probably under Mel's nose. You know?
That's true. Although her sense of smell is a lot stronger than mine, so they do it under my nose, so I'll know how much money it is. So,
Well, when
a couple of bucks, you can come. Hey, trust me, if I go on a trip, you wave about a 20 in front of her, you can haul all this out of here. I'm gonna just.
So duly noted. When Chris is out of town, casually stop by to visit Mel, dropping something
Mel.
off. Oh, I forgot Chris wasn't here. By the way, he mentioned you guys have some Lego that you might want to sell.
I got a Bitsky right here. Can I go down there?
I've got cash.
Every time I get see one of those like Facebook Marketplace ads with like, here's 50 pounds of loose brick. I'm like, already got that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Facebook Marketplace purchase that I made was one of the greatest of all time. So,
yeah,
the bucket of gray that had the monorail track in it. So,
oh yeah, you can't.
Which a good friend purchased for me, from me, and made back tenfold on that money. So, that was great, fantastic.
I question whether it was the greatest of all time because right before COVID started, Brian hooked me up with a Facebook Marketplace ad that was $200, and there was $3,900 worth of sets in there after I parted them all together, including a monorail.
Oof.
Yeah, so that is my greatest of all time. My Facebook Marketplace pickup.
I get it. $35 became $500 for me, but yeah, that's a pretty darn big uptick there. So
yeah.
I bought a complete used Sydney Opera House for like $80 that I found it sold for $2.
Well, now I will say I was given one of the first Star Destroyer, the UCS Star Destroyer. Somebody gave it to me. They just said, we started building this and we didn't want to finish. So do you want it? I'm like, do you want me to pay for it? They're like, no. I'm like, all right. So yeah. And I never built it either. It became spaceship parts. So okay.
These things happen.
They do. They do. All right, Dana. Actually, somebody gave me a big bucket of brick, a lot of Friends stuff in it, but then there was Lord of the Rings in it, and I got bag in sitting right over there because I got it for free. So
they got a shot for that.
Yeah, they do. You get it in your bag end, actually. So
I was going to make a comment about, wow, Chris has an extra bag end.
I do.
Actually, he's only got one bag end.
Well,
if you've ever seen me, and never mind. Anyways. All right, Dana, what's going on in your world, man?
It's probably no longer a secret at this point in time. I don't know if it needs to be a secret or not, but Peach Lug received its lug bulk order, or most of it, on Friday, and the last 2 boxes showed up today, evidently. Hello, Aubrey, Dark Aubrey. So the lug had a few people who started sorting on Sunday, so I went over there, and because I had an ulterior motive, I figure if I'm going to come over there and help start sorting, and which, by the way, I want to bring boxes home to sort here at home as well with the scale. But the big portion of it was this nice, lovely 20,000 medium stone gray tiles, along with 30-some odd thousand lavender tiles.
I want to hear that you counted all of those.
Somebody asked me that on Instagram. I'm like, no, I used a scale. Work smarter, not harder. But I'm hashtag. But this I thought was funny because it was sitting in my office, and I thought, I wonder what this would look like with dots in it. So I actually think I might find more of these. I could probably have put something in here to fill up some of the volume, but I think this is kind of a neat decoration just in general. I think it's kind of neat. I don't know. Art deco-y. So I now am waiting on one last bricks and pieces order for 18 more plates, and my surplus extra dots, because I forgot to think about the fact that lug bulk will often be plus or minus 5%. So there's entirely a possibility of getting 5% less than what you ordered. But ironically, of the medium blue, lavender, and gray, they all came out like within like 3 pieces. So I didn't have to order extra stuff. So it actually wound up coming out good. But it does have the extra 1,000 white that I needed to do as well. So I am going to be short on white until that Bricks and Pieces order. But I got plenty to work on between now and then.
I got your white if you need it.
Well, and I got invoice for it, so I'm assuming it'll probably show up Friday, Saturday would be my guess. But at the moment, I'm kind of I was working ahead of time, so I mean, I start working on tiles to get them to a point where the majority of a particular color isn't on that section. So, for example, like this. So I was able to go through and fill in the medium blue and the coral, and now I'm just down to the gray. So I can actually sit in front of the TV and not even really, I don't even have to look at it. I can just reach into the little cup and start putting dots down. So I'm anticipating probably between tonight and tomorrow night, I'll have at least maybe close to 50% of the whole project done just by being able to sit and go through the 15 plates out of the 32 that I already had started. So those will just be cranking out little bits here and there. Just for fun.
I wanted that dome to pour out. I wanted to see all those dots go everywhere.
Oh, I already did that earlier. But so here is actually the first section that actually got finished.
Nice.
You can see that there. And so this
is molten lava Bowie hair.
Oh wait. So here's kind of a preview.
Looks good. Looks good.
So I'm excited. I'm as I was telling the guys before we were doing the pre-show, I put Space Babies on a timeout this week just to be able to.
Were they bad?
Space Baby timeout. Put them in a corner.
In the corner.
They weren't carrying the watermelon, so put them in a timeout. But yeah, so this week is going to be really focused on just trying to ramp up and get as much done on the mosaic as I can this week, so I can at least have a little bit of a refresh in my mind of saying, okay, at least I've got that going. I can wait, and now I can focus back on Space Babies and not feel like the mosaic is sitting out there in the back of my mind. So that's my plan for this week. So that's about it.
The Space Babies is like the entree, and the Space Babies is the dessert, and the mosaic is the entree. You're trying to get eat your meal before you get your dessert.
I don't know where you're going with that one.
People can drop into this chat and not know what we're talking about at these moments and go, "What the heck?"
And the fact that Waxplat has put up, the quintessential running joke about bodies in the trunk, babies in the trunk, babies in the timeout. So, but one thing I did do is I do have all my Space Babies up here on 2 shelves at the moment. Because again, somebody on Facebook
in the corner.
Said, what's that? Baby the baby's in there in the corner.
Kind of. Baby in the corner.
But yeah, again, somebody on Facebook was like, "So do you take them apart when you're done taking a picture of them?" And I'm like, "No." And the funny thing was, somebody replied back with a comment of, "Oh, so you were actually smart and actually built Space Baby versions of all the classic space sets instead of being ridiculous like the rest of us and spending ridiculous amounts of money on getting all the classic space sets." And I had to reply to his comment with I don't think smart would be the appropriate word here. And then I posted a picture of all my classic space sets. And he's like, "Oh, duly noted."
We just call that a rut. So
you're new around here, aren't you?
You evidently haven't seen me before. So it's fun. It's fun stuff.
No, that's awesome. That's super awesome. So big projects being done. So your project will be done for Brick World Chicago, which I'm not going to, by the way. Just FYI. I wish I was. And see you, Waxpot. He's headed to work. And so, are you going to have all the Space Babies for Chicago?
The plan is to take the Mosaic, the Space Babies, a return visit of the monochrome habitats, and the cat. And I think that's all I'm taking with me.
You know,
There's
folks don't get to see Moonbase.
What's that? Poor Moonbase. No Moonbase this year.
yeah, there's some of the lugs have been, or some people have been sent messages, or lugs, I guess, that are doing larger group layouts have been sent messages saying, how much space do you really need? Because they are drastically out of space.
Yeah, I think
15,000+
attendance is going to
people
be like
or 100
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 1,500 people, I think, right now. I'm just double checking.
I mean,
So to confirm that, Connor Lil, who's local here but is long been involved, sent me a message about a month ago, and he's like, "People are asking, are you really going to have a 10-foot thing finished?" And I was like, "It will be done." So
1,520.
So now I'm actually on the Discord for the organizers because Moi volunteered to lead a parts draft or two. And so I shared a picture of it and I'm like, it's done, people. It's coming.
so I haven't looked at the attendance and attendees and everything. I know that Brick World Chicago and Brick Fair Virginia generally are about the same. Does it feel like that Brick World's really taking the ball and moving forward and getting more bigger than Virginia, or am I mistaken?
Does anybody know what the Virginia numbers were?
Mm-mm.
Right? Like, I don't know. I don't know that, but I mean, 1,500 people that are A full attendees is kind of insane.
It is.
Right?
I mean, it really is.
I went to both in opposite years. They seemed, I will say Brick World seemed bigger to me in terms of size, but I don't necessarily know that either one of them is getting more momentum.
Maybe it's just because us locally are more going in mass. Maybe that's why. But
I think, I was going to say, I think a lot of the TikTokers and everything, and like all the different people are making this like the meetup point for all the different social media platforms.
And it's like I said,
Awesome, Mark.
I think I've said it before. It's a centralized location.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, nice.
Looks nice.
Very nice.
Ooh.
And Dana's mom lives there too, which has nothing to do with it, just the fact that.
Chat time. What's up, man?
But yeah, no, but I mean, but Brick World it's in the center of the country, so you get it's East and West Coast all coming together in the middle. So I that's my theory. That's my theory.
I think this area here probably is about the right size for the
Your mom?
Ninjago Market and Gardens, like right in there.
Oh, he's taking the plunge.
He's planning his
Well, I
purchase.
haven't spent any money yet, but I could fit them there if I wanted to.
Once you start down the dark side, the Ninjago side will
And I ordered a bunch more of the teal colored track as well from Pick-a-Brick.
Nice.
Not to be confused with teal wheels.
Not to be confused with teal wheels. No, it is teal track.
And with that, I'm going to leave you to 4 because I got to go pick up the missus.
Well, it's like all of a sudden we're going to be like Thursday. We come back from reviewing the sets and it's like there's like 3 of us because Matt fell asleep or something and Dana dropped out and we're like, oh, well, there's nobody here.
Matt went back to finish grading until midnight that night. That's
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. And Matt needed a 1-hour break. And so I was very strict. I was like, I'm not going to get on until right before we go live. And I'm going to leave at 9.
Dedication.
That's right.
Deadline. I got you guys.
For ADHD, dedication means a deadline's looming. That's what.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in VBS
over here, like saying, "Oh, it's amazing. Highly recommend." Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you gotta get them all. You gotta go spend $1,000 and get the first Ninjago set. So
no, that's not no.
He doesn't need to be sold on it. He just needs the money.
Yeah, no.
Yep. There's I've seen pictures of that, the new Blacktron torso. I think it arrived sold out. They haven't put it as in stock yet. So
No, it was available in Europe for a few hours or minutes, but it did sell
of course.
So, but it was released in Europe before it got to us. So,
of course. Well, but anyway, so Mosaic, Mark, what are you taking to Brick World?
I'm gonna take City of Lanterns again because I have illuminated it and it's all pretty and lighted up and everything now.
Illuminated.
I might try to build some new buildings for it if we get our lug bulk order parts back before then. But I don't know. We'll see.
I hope we can.
can you fit Chris in your car too? Just take him.
I could.
What if we kidnap him and then he won't be held responsible for missing work?
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. But don't say kidnap because Facebook will jump us again.
Yeah,
Although that's only when you threaten Canadians, I think. So
there is room in my car, as it were.
Yeah,
and I have a spare hotel room, or I have a spare bed in my hotel room, even. So, not trying to make it tempting, just trying to,
Yeah, but he's North Canadian.
I have a project that's going to be till Thursday night, so I just can't do it this year. So,
well, you could fly up Friday.
I don't like to fly, so
I have to address the comment in the chat. Yes, it was better than City of Lanterns, but it was twice the price of City of Lanterns, which is why I bought City of Lanterns, which is why I now have this monstrosity here. This is what happened after I bought City of Lanterns. It became this. This is what it turned into. So
you bought not only did you buy the cheaper product, you bought 4 of them, and now you're going to buy the expensive product. So there you go.
Well, technically, I only bought 2 of the City of Lanterns sets, and the rest of it was. Some of it was Bricklink orders, some of it was friend sets that got turned into buildings, and some of it was my own parts, and etc. and so forth, and you know how it goes.
I just checked Brick Fair, Virginia, and they've got 568 people registered right now. Now it is 2 months later, 3 months later, I guess, than Brick World, but they've only got a third of the people. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, nobody goes there anymore. It's no longer cool.
I would like to maybe by then I might even talk to Jake and see if he wants to take a trip up there because he's never gotten to. So maybe Brick Fair, Virginia might be doable for us and everything. So that's always been a school thing. I couldn't go to Virginia because school starts the first week of August and everything. But he's graduating a week from Friday. His last exam is noon on Wednesday of this week, and he's done. So
that kid was 6 months old when I moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, he was. I can show you a picture of what he looked like when you moved here. He's growing up on me. He's got a British literature test tomorrow, exam. So he's studying for it. I'm like, ugh.
Is he allowed to phone a friend? Because he could phone Brick Snaps.
He could.
He doesn't need Alabamian literature.
He might be writing in Alabamian literature when he's answering. Let's see if we can find that picture.
I have to go to Small Paul's 5th grade graduation next week.
5th grade. I can't believe he's going to middle school.
Yep.
Do they wear like miniature little hats too?
I don't think they're dressing up like in that sort of thing, but there is like a 5th grade program next Friday that I'm going to that morning. That is, they didn't call it a graduation; they just called it a program, but it's still celebrating their passage into whatever. Yep.
There it is, 8/17/2005. This is when we got back from Fair, Virginia. Mark and I traveled up there. Mark literally, they arrived in Atlanta. He jumped in my car and we went to Virginia. And And this is Jake when I got home. So yeah, he was 6 months
Well,
old.
I mean, there were a couple days in between. Like we arrived and unloaded the moving truck and unpacked a little bit, and then, but it wasn't long. So
No.
And Jake doubled in
That's
size that time period.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh, let's see. We got some new folks. Aubrey's here. Brick Bunnies. I don't think I said hello officially. Minifig Collector is here. Bricklin is here. Hey man, what's going on?
hey, Bricklin. Bricklin is one of my associates from the TikToks.
He's on the TikToks. I follow him on the TikToks. So
Yep. We did a few live streams together building the Bugle.
the Beagles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and-
Jake built the Beagles. I did not build the Beagles.
If my sister watches this later or is currently watching and hasn't said hi, happy birthday.
Oh, it is. It's her birthday today.
Yep.
That's right. I think I actually said it in the little Canadian chat. That's more other than Canadians. I said happy birthday to her. That's right.
Happy birthday, Yvonne.
She does not say her name that way for the record, but anyway.
Oh, she doesn't?
No, it's Yvonne.
Oh, sorry.
Yvonne.
I've never heard it pronounced that way here, but maybe that's just an Americanism.
It's a Southern thing. That's Miss Yvonne right over there. I had Miss Yvonne used to live next door to us down the road. She made it.
You can call her that all you want. I have no problem with it.
If you were Yvonne, that means you were from the city or somebody fancy. So,
Well, as a teacher, I try very hard to get people's names correct.
Oh, she just messaged me. My dad was visiting her, so she just messaged me. So I started laughing, thinking, "Oh, she's watching." But no, my dad just left her house.
Tell her don't watch the show.
Don't come on. You're being made fun of right now.
We are not talking about you right now.
Skip forward through minute 35, please. Then you know she's gonna like load it and go right to minute 35. Like, what happened?
Yvonne. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember.
Like eBay, but Yvonne.
So, would she ever come to a show with you or anything like that?
I don't know if she's talked about it, like maybe coming to the Montreal show or
Bricks in the Six?
or Bricks in the Six, maybe. But I don't know if it's in the cards for this year for her or not. But we'll find out. Worst case scenario, I'm going to try and at least like pay for a ticket so she can come up on public day and visit. At least meet a few people.
When is Bricks in the Six again?
Oh, there she is. Can't no passport. I knew she was watching.
Oh, that's true. I would get my passport renewed to go up there.
Yeah. Bricks in the Six is July. I'm just pulling up calendar quickly because July 22nd, 23rd weekend.
Okay. Yeah, probably not, but who knows?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? My summer,
I don't have a passport either, so it's okay.
My summer class will be done the week before that. So in theory, I'm not teaching at that point. So need to get that passport renewed though.
Yeah. I don't know how long that takes for you guys right now. I know our
I'll just
systems
swim
are back
across Lake Ontario.
So
Can I tell you, in smaller rural American post offices, to go in and see a very Southern speaking person dealing with somebody getting a passport with like, foreign accent or something like that, it's quite entertaining because the language barrier, even though they're both speaking English, but the accents are not hitting each other and everything, is quite humorous. And it happens quite a lot at the town Ackworth, which is above us. It still has a little bit of country roots in it, and it's quite entertaining. They're super nice there. It's a great post office to go in, but everybody's speaking English, but they ain't speaking the same type of English. Let's just say that, and they're not understanding each other. So it's kind of entertaining.
my sister just said, "Yeah, but I'm not Canadian." She's
Oh,
not Canadian. She's a landed immigrant from Holland. She never got her Canadian citizenship, but
You're serious?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, they came over a year before I was born, so I'm the only Canadian in my family, technically, like born Canadian. So
That's some miscegenation in your heritage to call it.
so
Wow. Does your government know this? Are they going to come raid your house and haul you out of there?
well, they're not going to raid my house. I'm
Canada
Canadian.
Canada invites people to move to their country.
Back then, for sure, because they needed more. Like they reached out. I think they reached out to the Dutch for farming and stuff like that. I know, like both my two of my 17 uncles, sarcastically, but not that far off, probably, moved here before my dad did, like 5-10 years before. And my dad went over both times to help them set up their farms, and fell in love with Canada, so he wanted to come back. So he did.
It was like in Canada, you don't have to worry about the North Sea coming in and flooding your farms.
That's a horrible Dutch accent, but yes.
Oh, that wasn't even trying to be Dutch. That was just trying to be oddly not English.
Feel free to share what Yvonne just posted.
Oh, no.
For the record, I was born in February, so mathematically, not so much. But anyways.
Let's see,
Well, it's cold in the spring, so
Yeah.
rough family. Woof.
yeah, man. Don't okay, Yvonne. I will always say your name right and not tick you off, anymore. So cold busted, man.
You'll have to watch the first part of this chat to get that comment.
No, don't worry.
No, don't watch it. No, you're good. You're good. We love you. We think you're great. Your brother's a turd. So
This is true. You've met my older brother?
no. I was saying to her that her brother is a turd. So
Yeah, and I said you've met my older brother.
oh yeah.
I know he doesn't watch this so far, so
Maybe if we insult more members of your family, your entire family will start to tune in.
Well, there you go.
That's true. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Just an older brother and one older sister. I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Technically,
Hey.
we had a fourth. I had a fourth, like an oldest sister, but she passed within a few days of being born. So
Understood.
yeah. So yeah. See, the youngest kid gets all the Lego.
So speaking of like little kids and Lego, I went to a baby shower on Saturday for the first time in a very long time that I've got any kind of baby shower. One of my best friends from grad school, he's younger than me, but this is they're relatively late in life to be having children. So anyways, it's kind of a big deal, and it'll probably be the only one. But of course, I broke out the Spaceman wrapping paper that Target had from 2 years ago. It looked really good. I have to say, when I wrapped those things, I was like, Spaceman looks real good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I went off list and got them Duplo. I got them the animal set in. Yes, he's got the shirt. I got them the Duplo with all the like safari type animals, and she's a veterinarian as for profession. So she's very into animals. I joked that all of their 3 dogs and 4 cats are going to be like, wait a second, we're no longer getting all the attention we used to get when that baby comes along.
That's true.
They're up in for some culture shock.
So your gift of Lego was well received?
It was. And I also gave them the Quantum Mechanics for Babies book, which was also a really big hit. That got passed around.
The baby or the book?
The baby hasn't come yet. The book got passed around. Oh. And since he's an academic, people were like, oh, that's hilarious, and then I also got him like a regular, baby's first book, cardboard kind of thing. So yeah, it was fun. She's a huge fan of dinosaurs. So when we walked in, there were these inflatable T-Rexes and different dinosaurs that were all bouncing around the house, which I was like, it's a shame they didn't have these when I was a kid. I would have loved to have like a T-Rex balloon. That would have been awesome.
Yes. The kids' toys are so much cooler as you get older.
Yeah. Like when I was a kid, I would have killed to have Lego Star Wars.
Well, I remember going to like things, and ball pits were not a thing when I grew up. But as I'm getting like 14 or 15, the kids are jumping in the ball pit. I'm like, well, crap, that'd be fun. And even though it's full of flu and diseases, but it's still fun. And baby teeth,
or those like turbine powered things where you can like float in the air. You can like levitate, the sky zone thing. I would have loved to do that.
I experienced that in back in my dad's El Camino. I'd sit, his low roof, and so I'd be on my knees flying through town. I leaned to the right, and he spat out the window, his chewing tobacco. That's the only time I've ever tasted it. So I about threw up in the back. It was awesome.
So my sister's about 4. And this friend of my dad stops by, and he just got in a new car. And so he's like, hey, you want to go for a ride? So we get in. The driver, his name was Bill. He had this big red bushy beard. And so Bill's driving the car. And my sister and I are in the middle, and my dad's on the end. And one of the adults spits out the window. And my sister thought that was really cool. So she goes to spit out the window, but it lands right in his beard. And there was this moment of silence where nobody knew what to say exactly. He's like, scoop. Oh, kids, that'll keep you humble.
The show has gotten a little bit more disgusting than usual. So.
Mark's look at he's got that like I'm staring at my computer screen look.
Yeah, sorry, I'm responding to texts regarding a birthday party that Small Paul needs to go to.
Best part is Jake is he has a small group of friends, and he can drive, so he gets invited to very few birthday parties. But if he does, he can drive. So so there you go.
So VW, how close is your sister to Bricks in the Six? Is she closer to Toronto? I know
we're about
you're
the
a long
same.
ways out. So.
We're both about an hour and a half or so away, like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I mean, technically, she's probably a little bit closer, but just coming from a totally different direction. So, like I said, I'm hoping she can come out at least for a public day or something and check it out. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Fun.
So I'm thinking. So I leaned the mosaic up in the living room up against our bookshelves, and Thomas was like, it could go there permanently instead of the bookshelves. And I'm like, you're right, it could. The bookshelves have all my modulars though. So I started thinking, maybe it's time to set up a modular village in the basement. So I move all those things down there, get some tables set up, do a layout with streets and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Your sister needs her itinerary. Thank you.
Well, she's going to the bathroom. Oh, that's where she was going.
They're deporting you back to Europe. They're deporting you back to Europe.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I was saying that if you want to come to Bricks in the Six, sis, you can maybe come up for one of the public days at least. I'll cover your ticket. Maybe. No.
How expensive is it?
Oh, it's like $1,000. No.
Oh my.
No, I don't.
Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah, so $5.
Canadian. That's like $3 American, right? I don't know.
Do I get a refund on my taxes at the border on that?
Sure. You can ask. Go ahead and ask.
It's like defensive hockey gear where you get your money back on the tax.
You know what? If you show up, I'll pay your taxes. How about that? for the ticket. Oh jeez.
I'll just try to
go ahead.
I'll just try to not be fooled by your sneaky metric system. Like the first time I crossed from Detroit into Windsor, and I was like, "Wow, gas is really cheap here. It's like 67 cents."
When did you come across the?
Oh, this would have been like
that was a very long time ago.
This would have been like 89 or something.
Yeah, it's like $1.50 now.
Ooh, yeah.
So give or take, obviously, but yeah, that's why I don't mind driving into the States because I get cheaper gas.
So how far is like Bricks from the Six from like Chicago or where? I mean,
Well,
I'm just trying to get a link.
it's about 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours from Chicago, probably 8 hours. Like driving straight, obviously stopping bathroom breaks, things like that, right? Are need to be included. But from the border, from Buffalo or from Detroit up, it's about 4 hours in. But if you're coming in from Buffalo side, it's about 2 hours. Detroit's just a lot further west. So
Yeah, if I did drive up, I would come up through the Buffalo side. So
yeah,
you said July 25th?
July 25th. Yeah.
Okay.
July. Sorry, 20. Let me just double check that again because I already have it up here. July 22nd to the 24th. Yeah.
Okay. And if I were going to register a mock, when would I have to do that? Do you remember?
July. Sorry. Let's try that one more time. July 20th to the 23rd. I was looking at the wrong dates. So it's the weekend of the 23rd, 24th. So
okay.
Mock registration. I will tell you. I think you have a month or so, easily.
Okay.
But I will look it up.
I'm going to look up my teaching schedule here.
I'm just looking. My wife has always wanted us to take a trip to Niagara, and
up through Buffalo, you definitely drive right to Niagara. Drive right through Niagara.
Yeah, I know. But we can't do it that time of year. So
yeah.
Ooh, classes in July 13th. But honestly, my class is online, so I don't even have to be here. I don't know why I'm.
You used to be in the car on the way to Buffalo, and just be phoning it in.
I mean, technically, like after Brick World ends, I'm teaching on that Tuesday, but it's online pre-recorded stuff anyway. So whether I'm home in Atlanta on Tuesday or I get home on Wednesday, it doesn't matter. So hello,
hey, Andrew.
Andrew, when are you coming on the show?
Yeah, right. There's Nick.
We've chatted about this before. E and I have.
Yep. I've been to Niagara long ago. I was a senior in high school. We went on a trip up there, so on choir tour. But it'd be cool. But I can't. We're actually going to. There's an Ant Bandit. We're going to Jekyll that weekend. So
okay. Well, and the whole passport thing too.
Yeah. I would have to get on to that. So
yeah,
I will start talking Canadian. They'd be nice and let me in.
I'll get my passport in this week for the week's out, so it'll start. No guarantees it'll be done. I need to get it done anyway. So.
Well, I might as well get it done anyhow. Like it's
yeah.
I found how to register my mocks, but I'm looking for the actual dates.
So I'm now part of the secret Discord about parts drafts for Brick World, and I'm pretty excited about a couple of the sets that we'll be drafting. The one that I'm going to be the host of will be the Dried Flowers set. I think I can reveal that since I'm the hostess with the mostest. I'm very excited about doing a draft of the Dried Flowers set. So there was I guess they tried to make a real mix. I know VW is a big vehicle fan, so like there's a motorcycle set in there, there's a green Technic truck set that's in there, and then there are Friends sets, Harry Potter, Star Wars, a Marvel set. So it looks like they tried to get a cross section of different themes. There were a couple that had my head shaking. I'm like, I'm not sure why people would want to draft that set, but it's not my decision. So.
Well, yeah. And yeah, like you said, it's bringing the set with you and draft it versus buy in there. So really, is there a limit how many people can, like, is there a sign up for it?
So there wasn't a sign up in the past. There was one draft, the one that Dana was in, that was huge. It had like 35 people and it took forever to draft, and he looked miserable as I looked in the room. So there's been discussion this time on the Discord about either capping the number of participants or doing a head count at the very beginning. And if it looks like there's like going to be more than 20, just split into two groups. and do
Okay.
halvesies. So one group drafts and another, and then you always have at least like 3 to 5 people who roll in after you've already started partying the sets
Yeah.
out. So if you've got like 30 people who show up, break up into 2 groups of 15, and then if 8 more people roll in, you can split them up between the 2 groups. So Jeff, I don't know how you feel about this, but one of the things I would love to do, and this would be an unofficial draft, would be to take a really big set like Rivendell and just do it for like 9-10 people, and it would be a buy-in, so it'd be like $50 a person. The Rivendell
that'd be cool.
set and the Starry Night, which has a lot of plates and all those various shades of blue. Those are 2 sets that I would love to do a buy-in draft. Last year's convention, Dana and I were invited to participate in a private draft, which was a lot of fun. But I kind of got the vibe from the organizers that they were not at all interested in doing a draft where they had to collect money. So they just wanted to do the bring a set and you get to draft. The big debate was about whether they would let people bring multiple sets, which is what happened last year. There was one guy who brought 2 or 3 sets to every single parts draft, and I think some people thought that was like unfair. But he contributed 3 sets for each time.
Yeah, so he should get 3 polls, right?
So
that kind of seems gaming, but still, everybody's getting more parts, I guess. Did y'all see Ant Bandit's question there?
Mm-mm.
Do you have to sign up for the yard sale on Brick World? I don't know how that works.
Yes, but it's a freaking zoo. Like, there was no control over it last year.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
It was a
horrible.
lot of people.
I asked about it the very first day, and I was told, "Oh, there'll be a list, and you won't have trouble." And then there was no announcement, and it was like I walked over, and the list was completely full. And I'm like, "Come on!" I asked about this at registration. And, one of our friends offered to share his table with me, so I was able to go ahead and display stuff. But I think this year, when I go to pack the car, unless there's a ton of empty space in the car, I don't even think I'm going to bring anything. Or if I do bring something, I might bring something really small, like the Captain America minifig that's expensive.
Yeah, I also remember they were like, it's going to start at like 7, and like 5 o'clock, all of a sudden you hear people rumbling and shouting and talking and stuff. We're like, yep, they're selling, and things were going really fast. So,
well, the thing that's really different at Brick World compared to Brick Fairs that I've been to, in Brick Fairs, you just went over into the food court area, and people grabbed tables and just to set up what they were going to sell, and it was pretty informal, but it seemed like it all kind of came together. And with Brick World, they erected a whole row of tables in the walking area in between the displays, and there was a huge square, and you could walk, but it took a long time to walk the square. There were a lot of tables. It's a big convention. So it's quite different from what.
Yeah, the problem with that is you need to have a lot of empty tables to be able to do that, and right, and that's not something Brick World probably has because they're overbooked on table space already, right? But
the yard sale at Atlanta Brick Convention was fine. It just didn't have the volume of people really, looking at it. I mean, there were only 150 people registered as attendees. So, but I mean, I still sold a bunch, so I was pretty pleased with that. There were some college students trying to like scam you. Well, not scam, but they're like, "Would you trade these figures? Like your Amidala for this chewed up Babs Bunny, whatever." No, thank you. But then I was just like, no, I'm not trading figs. And then this little teenager comes by and melts my little wife's heart. And she's like, "Sure, baby, we'll swap with you and everything." I'm like, "Don't do that. He's scamming you." And he totally took her. So it was all right. We gave him away on my whatnot or whatever. So that was fine. It was all fine. Oh, Shatam. Do it at the trunks of cars. That would be fun.
At Star Wars conventions, they have because most people stay in the official hotel, they actually have a thing called room sales. where people will literally open the room to their hotel room and people walk down and they're like, here's the, I've got like these action figures, or I've got a Millennium Falcon vintage, that I'm selling. I've never personally participated in room sales, but it's a thing for Star Wars collectors. Like they'll just turn the hallway into their sale opportunity.
Could you imagine being on vacation with your family and then all of a sudden this is going on out in the hall? That would be crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. So other things, one of the things that I was talking about with Jeff is maybe working in a baseball game, and Chicagoland has a lot of stuff and lots of food and lots of entertainment. I know Ant Bandit and his spouse made a point to stay a couple extra days and check out some of the sites, and they've got a huge aquarium and the Center of Science and Industry and Natural History Museum. All that stuff's a lot of fun. I went to that stuff as a kid growing up in Michigan. We did a couple family trips over. But if anybody's going and they have never been to Chicago, there's a ton of stuff to do. It's a big city though, so like if you're out in Schaumburg, you're not going to be downtown in 5 minutes. So you gotta leave an hour for travel and for traffic and that kind of stuff. But yeah. A lot of stuff to do. I'm looking forward to going back. So,
yeah, I actually want to get out of the convention this time and go do something on one of those days. Probably not on the weekend itself, but just get out. Like I don't know if I want to go to downtown Chicago and check that out or anything, but something at least. I don't know.
Yeah, if you've never gone, it's worth going to Navy Pier. It's worth going to some of the museums and that kind of stuff if you like it. Thomas and I had both done that stuff, so we made a point to try to look for ethnic food restaurants, and so we went to the Polish, Ukrainian places and had some great meals. If you like ancient history, the Oriental Museum at the University of Chicago has really good stuff, ancient Egypt and Assyria and that kind of stuff. But downtown Chicago is fun. The Michigan Mile, you walk down Michigan Avenue and there's like the NHL has a store there. Nike has these huge 5-story, so it's like your normal retail, but they're sort of flagship stores for some brands. So if you like that kind of stuff, that's interesting. Lots of music.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The first year I went to Chicago, I drove out to Plano, Illinois, because they make Plano tackle boxes there, which is about an hour. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half east of or west of Chicago, or maybe an hour. I don't remember. It was like when it was at the previous hotel years ago, like back in 2010, and I drove out there and bought a bunch of storage containers. Back then, just because it was a lot cheaper to get them at their factory store. But I don't even know if that place is. I know they're still there, but I don't know if they still have a factory store and stuff like that. So, but
cool. All right. Well, you guys will all enjoy it. Now, I just still want I still want the coffee candy bar things. Give them to one of these guys.
Oh, you want me to pick up some coffee crisp? Sure.
Yes, that's all I want.
I have no guarantee it's going to get to you though. If I'm giving it to someone else,
I'm pretty sure that I can get those at Publix.
Coffee crisp?
Oh, in the like the ethnic whatever
in the international aisle. Yeah, they have a little section with like British stuff, and I'm pretty sure that I can get coffee crisp.
Now, what you can't get in Atlanta is Tim Hortons. So not for long. Columbus is getting the first Tim Hortons in Georgia, which is not at all close to Atlanta, but it is in the state. So I assume that eventually we will get Timbits here in the metro area. But Chicago, I'm quite confident probably has Tim Hortons. But Chicago also probably has amazing mom and pop donut stores. So Nick,
all right. Hey, we're right at an hour, a little over, so we're gonna sign off. You guys have a great night. This has been a lot of fun, just hanging out and chatting. Be awesome and build awesome, everybody. Good night, everybody.